liberal democracy. So I want us to look at nationalism in the 20th century. We looked at nationalism way back, went to the nationalism in between 16th and 17th century. Then we looked at nationalism in the 19th century. So I want us to look at nationalism in the 20th century. So nationalism in the 20th century, we say nationalism and the world wars. We have World War I, World War II. World War I, specifically, nationalistic rivalry and territorial disputes were major factors leading to World War I. So the war resulted into what we call dismantling of several empires and the creation of new national states based on nationalistic aspirations altogether. So World War led to the ending of and closing decline of different empires. And when these empires collapsed, it then gave rise to the new state, the national state based on what we call nationalistic aspiration. So the issue of empires, when the World War I catastrophe broke out in 1914, it did not leave empires. It instead created what we call nations or states, but these states were under the basis or they were on the foundation of what we call a nationalistic aspiration. So they were actually time came when the issue of empires, for example the Roman empires, the French empires, all these empires, the World War catastrophe did not leave them the way they were, but still the issue that came up after World War I, it was the formation of states, and these states were on the basis of what we call nationalism. We have the interwar period. So the interwar period saw the rise of what we call extreme forms of nationalism, including fascism in Italy and Nazism in Germany. If we talk about fascism this is an ideology that developed during the reign of Benito Mussolini, who came to power in 1922, and then the idea of Nazism developed in Germany during the reign of Adolf Hitler, 1933, after 1945, the same year to fascism. So these ideologies also opened the doors for other wars like World War II altogether. So ideologies promoted what we call aggressive nationalism, often at the expense of the democratic principle and the minority rights. So the idea of fascism and the idea of Nazism, these were nationalistic ideologies that developed at the expense of democratic principle. We have, we look at the post-World War II nationalism. The first place we look at World War I. The post-World War II nationalism. We have decolonization. So after World War II, nationalistic movements in colonized countries sought independence from colonial powers. So the process of decolonization led to the creation of what called new sovereign states and the promotion of self-determination. So different countries that were colonized by different powers, they were able to gain their independence. They were able to become independent from their colonial rulers, and in the process, the idea of nationalism, sovereign states, self-determination, this idea deeply developed into these nations, and at the end of the day, nationalistic feelings emerged. We have European integration. In the post-war Europe, nationalistic tension were mitigated through efforts at European integration. So the formation of European Union aimed to promote economic cooperation and political stability, reducing the likelihood of the nationalistic conflict. European integration, we say that the post-war period of Europe, nationalistic tension were mitigated through efforts of the European integration. So the formation of the European Union aimed at promoting what we call economic cooperation and political stability. So they formed what we call European unions in order to look at the economic part and the political part, in order to reduce the loss of people's lives, in order to protect people's lives as a way of also safeguarding the nationalism as a principle. Then we have contemporary nationalism. Contemporary nationalism, under it we have the rise of popularism. Popularism. So in the recent decades, there has been what we call we call it the resurgence of we call them the populist nationalism in various parts of the world. Populist leaders often used what we call nationalistic nationalism to address what we call economic grievances, cultural grievances, and political discontent. Are we together? Political discontent. We have what we call global challenges. Contemporary nationalism faces challenges from globalization and multiculturalism, while nationalistic movements continue to shape political landscapes. They often confront ideas related to immigration, global governance, and international cooperation. So therefore, in conclusion, to sum this thing up, nationalism has played a complex role in the emergence and elevation of liberal democracy. Its development over the centuries has been influenced by cultural, political, and historical factors, while nationalism has driven the formation of national states and supported democratic movements. It has also presented challenges to liberal democratic values, including what we call inclusivity and pluralism. Understanding the elevation of nationalism provides insight into its impact on modern political system and its interplay with democratic principle. So we've concluded that the principle of nationalism and nationalism as a topic. When we come back, we shall look at the terms. So we shall look at the types and forms of nationalism.